My life got so much better when I realized that it's the natural law of the universe for everything to just work out perfectly when you relax.
You cleaned your whole kitchen in 20 minutes because somebody was coming over, but it sat dirty for 4 days and you lived there. If your trainer is watching, you are not quitting at rep number 6. You will shake and make that ugly face, but you finish. Alone at home working out, oh, rep 6 starts looking like a fine place to stop. If your coworkers can see your screen, you're not on TikTok for 40 minutes, but home alone with the laptop, oh, that's just a regular Tuesday. So be honest about what that means. The version of you with standards only shows up when somebody's watching. The private version quits early, scrolls, lets things slide, and your future isn't built in public. It's built in the moments when nobody would ever know the difference. Nobody would catch you cutting the corner. You either cut it or you don't. That gap is the whole distance between where you are right now and where you keep saying you're going. The way out is smaller than you'd expect. You don't need to overhaul your character. You need one private rep. Pick one thing today that nobody will ever see and do it at your public standard. Finish the set, close the app, clean the thing. The first time, it's gonna feel pointless because nobody saw it, but you saw it. You just proved the private you and the public you can be the same person. Do that enough times and it stops being a performance. It's just who you are. One private rep today. Start there. Hope that helps.
My sister said something to me the other day while she was yelling at me that made sense. And she was like, everybody gets scared to do things because they begin to think about all the people they're competing against. And she's like, you're not competing against 100% of the world. You're barely competing against 50% of the world. You're actually only competing against the 10% of people that actually choose to be consistent. It looks like there's a lot of people. There's not. 1, not everybody is you. 2, not everybody can do it like you do. And 3, not everybody can keep doing it. I wanted to swing, but I got it.
My mindset is that I have one life on this earth as me. I can either continue to compare myself to every other girl who has a better life than me, who's prettier than me, who has a nicer body than me, who has more money than me, who's this and that, and compare myself constantly with other people, or I can choose to strive to be the best version of me and compare myself with who I was yesterday. I want to live my most happy, fulfilled life and get to the end of my life and know that I have done everything that I've always wanted to. I'm not perfect, but I genuinely was on a mission to become the best version of myself every single day.
I have learned over the years, and still trying to better get an understanding and grasp of it now, is that every season of your life is literally teaching you something. And don't count it out just yet, okay? When I was in my early 20s waiting tables, I had no idea. I thought that I was a failure. I was like, I'm waiting tables. I have a daughter. Like, what am I doing with my life? But now looking back, I'm like, that was the foundation of like the bigger picture in my life, to serve people. And I almost counted it out. I almost counted that season out because I thought that it wasn't teaching me anything and it wasn't gonna grow me, and I thought that I was gonna be in that season forever. But that's not true. That's not true. There's always a reason why you're here, and there's always something to learn. So don't count it out just.
All right, I just want to pop on here real fast. I get a lot of DMs asking me, like, you know, about law school and saying, you know, I worked, I'm a mom, and I just don't know if I can do it. And I'm like, success, the path to success is difficulty. It's overcoming hurdles, right? Like, it is very rare. And I'm talking about I'm talking about just success, because I was gonna say, like, I've handed my children things, but their own path to success is still like that difficult path, right? It's not impossible, but it is difficult. When I went to law school, I was, I think, 31. I finished right before I turned 35. I was barred right before I turned 35. I was a single mom in law school. I was working full-time in law school full-time. The room mom every Thursday with Thursday folders. I was taking my son to basketball practice, my daughter to cheerleading and guitar practice, my oldest son to acting and vocal lessons. Chris also played the drums. Like, I had to do all that while being a law school student. I was looking at some emails a couple months ago that MJ and I were exchanging while I was in class. I think it was at my trademarks class. I was helping that brother with his math homework while I was sitting in law school, right? Because that was the demand on my life. I had a wonderful community. My mom was watching my kids while I was in law school. My mama could not do 4th grade math, right? So I was having to be an active parent with all that other stuff going on while maintaining my job, right? And I did have like a really good job, so it was fine. But I had to do all that and maintain my job. You can do it. It won't be easy. And so when people come to me and like, oh, I just want you, baby. The path to success, the path to this level of success was not easy, right? And so even with God directing it, it was still not easy. Worth it, not easy. And what comes once you get to this level of success, what do you want more? So like I have all these goals, I'm meeting all these goals, and then the Lord drops another goal into my spirit the other day. Can't even tell y'all about it, but I'm sitting here like, you about to blow my mind. He's about to blow my mind, but I take the difficult path because I understand where it leads. And I want to be on this app right here an example to people who, like I said, I grew up in poverty, right? Like I had parents who loved me though, community who loved me, but I grew up in poverty, and my life is better than I ever thought. That you could not have told me this is the life that I would live at 8, at 15, at 22, at 25, at 30. You couldn't have told me that I would be here, right? But I took the difficult path. So don't let, oh, I'm a mom and I have, especially if God called you to something, and you know that God called you to something, know that he is going to sustain you. I need you to understand that I have been sustained walking this path to greatness.
Wait, I literally have to go to work, but I have to tell you this, okay? You're never going to feel ready, because ready is not a feeling. It is a decision that you can make right now, that any of us can make right now. You can say, I am finally ready to post that content that I have been keeping in my drafts for 2 weeks. I am ready to find the courage to finally do that business venture that I've had in mind. I am ready to be nicer and to be kinder to myself today, okay? It is a decision that you can make right now. And that decision can change the trajectory of your whole entire life, okay? Love you.
Oh, you are so back. You are so back. How could you forget? Well, I'm sorry. Do you know who you are? Do you know what you've overcome? Do you know all of the things that you've had to go through to get to this point? You are strong, smart, kind, ambitious, and you're going for it. You are building the life of your dreams, and it's okay. You might have had a little bit of a flop. You might have had a little bit of a lull. Think about any successful person, any kind of a hero. They're not just always on the upwards trajectory, okay? They're going up, they're going down, they're going up. But so long as you're consistently on the up, you're gonna get every single thing you could ever want. I'm here to tell you, if you've had a moment of weakness, you've had a moment where you feel like a loser, or you feel like you haven't actually accomplished anything, the fact that you're watching this and the fact that you are still here and you're still going for the big dream, the big goals, tells me everything I need to know. So pick yourself up, get off your phone after this video, keep building that business, keep building that dream life. You got this. I love you.
Sometimes you gotta let yourself be bad at it. Because one day you're gonna wake up and you're gonna look up and you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, I'm doing the thing. I'm doing it. And you can't get to the point unless you embrace the suck and unless you let yourself be bad at it. So start somewhere today, somewhere small that's gonna take you to wherever you want to be in your future. I believe.
A rich habit that I've really had to work on in my adulthood is giving myself the permission to take myself seriously, and everything else that comes under that. And what I mean is, there is kind of this weird feeling or shame around just shamelessly going after what you want, right? Raising your hand, climbing cringe mountain, asking people, saying that you want it, and taking yourself seriously in that pursuit. And I think sometimes in a culture where we kind of feed this nonchalant, play it off cool, don't, and I think sometimes that can start to bleed into just like your day-to-day and how you take yourself seriously. Like, back to the Kerry Washington interview, and obviously paraphrasing, and she talks about like seeing a bus, right? And you don't just sit there and like hope and pray that you catch the bus, right? Like, you run. And as embarrassing as it is, like if you've ever had to run for a bus, that is kind of what it looks like to take yourself seriously, is to not care to be seen
running after that bus. I think when you've been hyper independent or had to face a lot of challenges or just so many ways that your mindset can be impacted to not think rich and in this abundance way, where you just so carelessly take up space and are so confident in your pursuit. But it's one element to like name your goal, to name your pursuit, but then to actually be seen and say, I don't care what it looks like or what I look like running to catch that bus. Going to ask, I am going to put myself out there. I am just going to, and I think sometimes we want to play it cool. Like, playing it cool when it comes to your life and your vision and your goals is kind of like broke-minded. It's not very rich and it doesn't get you far. Why some people get really far with half the talent is because they are not scared to be seen running after that bus. Once you crack the code of being like, I actually don't care, I take myself seriously and my life will start to meet you right there. Like, right exactly in that mindset is when opportunity happens, is when the magic happens.
You ever notice how confident women have the driest phone? That's because life after you have built confidence is boring as hell. That's because you stop asking 5 people, you say no, you have the difficult conversations, you press post, you go for the walk, you take the trip, you do what you want, you disappoint people, and you do it again tomorrow. Confidence is not about becoming somebody else, it's staying with yourself.